Hi, my name is Tom Welcome. Welcome to the ASUG News Studio, which is, we're here broadcasting live at SAP TechEd and Decode, and we are sponsored, as always, by NTT Data. Well, I'm delighted to have three, I would say, provocateurs in the ASUG News Studio here who deliver tons of content all the time, and we're lucky to have them. Den Howlett, to my right. Den, welcome.
Hi.
John Reed. John, as always, good to have you back. And at the end is John Appleby, who's still from the glow from his stage presence yesterday and Steve Lucas's great keynote. So, gentlemen, we're all about the customers here at ASUG. So let's just talk about, I'm going to get each of you, what is the main takeaway that you think customers should be walking out of TechEd and Decode, or if customers aren't here, what would you tell them? John, maybe I'll start with you.
Yeah, has to start with me, doesn't it? With me, I have no idea what to say. No, seriously, I think the big thing for me was that they've gone all in on the cloud. That's
SAP.
That's where the money is going. It's going into their cloud platform. I mean, they have hammered that down through and through and through. The question is, what does that mean to the customer? And I guess what the customer has to take away is if we're invested in SAP technologies, what does that mean to us? Right.
John, what about yourself?
Well, I thought SAP had a pretty rough Sapphire, and post-Sapphire also tough with things like the ASUG HANA survey, where I felt like they weren't listening very well. The message I got this time is I think SAP's turning the corner a little bit with listening to their customers, and you could really get a sense of that through some of the emphasis on some of the keynote announcements. And to me, and just putting all the partners and customers on stage the way they did. And when they talk about simplification, I think they're finally starting to understand that it's not just about a simple interface, it's simplifying everything. It's simplifying the ecosystem, it's making projects faster, more affordable, and I think user groups have played an important part in that dialogue.
Do you think that SAP has a good chance of executing on delivering on that?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure it's a monstrous challenge, but I do think at least they understand the scope of it, and it's not just about cloud. I think, though, John's right, that's important, but it's about making things easier for customers, and I think they get that. Whether they can get there, that's what we're going to find out.
Dan, last but certainly not least.
Well, I think they've finally figured out that not invented here just doesn't work anymore, right? You know, back in the day when you were the only game in town, not invented here makes sense. But in a heterogeneous world, which they've always lived in but not necessarily recognized, and with many, many competitors coming in now and attacking them and from every direction, they've got to recognize that things have changed. And I think customers have told them that loud and clear, both in terms of the conversations that they've had, but much more importantly, in the way in which they've been spending their own money.
So you're saying, all of you are three, if I can take a thread, is that SAP has listened to their customers, and we're now starting to see that, and perhaps in 2015 we'll see more?
To say that it has listened is, I mean, we've heard that many, many times, right? And SAP says publicly it prides itself on listening to its customers. Clearly that's not been true. Or if it has, then the message has gone in one ear and out the other. I think, you know, your survey results really hurt them in many, many ways. Lucas today was saying that, you know, he'd spent many sort of restless nights over it. Last week, I think it was, DSAG basically confirmed what you'd already found. So, you know, they can't ignore it, so they have to listen now. Right. That's good. It's always good.
John, any parting thoughts of what you're looking forward to for the next couple days here?
Well, mostly just, we do a bunch of videos. We want to hear from a bunch of customers and partners and sense test our own observations, because frankly, we become full of hot air after a while, I think. And we have
Some of us more than others.
Well, let's be fair, you know? So I just basically want to keep an open mind and learn from what's happening on the ground, and then maybe we'll write about it, and hopefully it'll be interesting to read.
John, last word for you. What do you most want to hear from SAP over the next couple of days? Is there something you want to hear from them?
I mean, for me, just really coming back to this point of simplification, the proof is in the pudding. It's what they said today. The proof is in the pudding. You lay down the strategy in an event like this, and then you see what happens. Do the 200-page contracts that take weeks and months to negotiate go away? Does that stuff happen before Sapphire? How are they going to report back on that? What are the KPIs? You know, if they should lay down the meaning of simplification. If they can do that, I think they're in really good shape.
SAP does a roadmap for products. It needs to do a roadmap for simplicity.
Yeah.
Great. And that's a great place to stop, gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming in. Great session as always. Good to talk with you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Tom.
For more customer stories, please check out asugnews.com.